And the point was made. One can watch the tapes or look at documents, and I always encourage people to look for themselves at something called the National Security Archive of George Washington University, in a file called What Did Gorbachev Hear? Gorbachev heard an earful that NATO would not enlarge. And this was the basis for reaching the 4+2 agreement that reunified Germany in 1990, and that in essence ended World War II. It sounds strange that World War II was ended 45 years later, but there was no peace treaty after World War II. Now, the United States almost immediately cheated afterwards, because when the Soviet Union dissolved in December 1991, and again, I was there in the Kremlin as that happened, in fact, Yeltsin said the same thing as the successor state. We want peace, we want cooperation, we count on the West as a peaceful partner. But as soon as the Soviet Union was dissolving, the United States pursued an extension of the Cold War. This is the point. The Cold War did not end from the Western point of view. It did in surface rhetoric, but immediately the security state in the United States started to plan NATO enlargement. And by 1994, it was official U.S. policy. And in 1997, in a paper for Foreign Affairs magazine by Zbigniew Brzezinski, called A Geostrategy for Eurasia, Brzezinski lays out the U.S. strategy, including the expansion of NATO to Ukraine by around 2010, discussed in the article. And the article explains that the point is to weaken Russia, even to divide it into a set of loose confederacies, part of a confederation. Brzezinski talks about Russia basically dissolving from a unitary state into three pieces: a European Russia, a Siberian Russia, and a Far Eastern Russia, linked together in a loose confederation that would have no imperial power, Brzezinski says. But this was Brzezinski as the Polish-American anti-Russian patriot in his wish list that the Cold War would continue onward to the point of the disintegration of Russia.